I watched food YouTuber Ethan Chlebowski talk about different types of eggs, particularly the price, and how that affects the quality, and more importantly, how they taste. Ethan's video is an excellent essay on egg quality and exactly how the eggs are affected by their welfare standard. I was really impressed, but I know there are huge differences between the way the US regulate their eggs and how the UK and EU regulate their eggs. Therefore, I wanted to conduct a similar test over here. I did a whole bunch of research on how we keep, store, label and market eggs in this country, and I learned a bunch of brand new facts I had no idea about. Stick around and I'll tell them to you too. One of the major differences between US and UK egg treatment is the sanitization. In the US, eggs go through a strict washing procedure. All the eggs go into a warm solution with a very, very mild detergent in it that acts as a sanitizer for the eggs. They then very carefully have to be dried off. If they stayed wet, it would be a danger, but if you keep that dry, that makes sure the eggs are completely clean and free of contaminants, and bacteria, mold and other lurgies aren't going to get into the egg. Here in the UK, we took a different view and said that the risks involved with washing were just too great, and so we're just going to not bother and leave them to it. Clearly, both sides of the pond are happy with their version of the arrangement, so I don't think either is particularly right in this case. The only thing is, American eggs have to be kept refrigerated at all times, and in the UK, we don't. We buy ours ambient off the shelf and put them in the cupboard at home. You can put them in the fridge if you want. I choose not to, because if there's something else smelly in the fridge, that will go into the egg itself. So whether you're using an American egg or a British egg, they're both just as good as each other. They've just been handled differently before they reach your supermarket. Did you know there are 4 standards for egg welfare in the UK? At number 3, we have caged eggs. Literally, as it says, the hens are contained in cages. The next step up is barn eggs, which sounds very nice, but it literally means the chickens are kept in a barn with a certain amount of space given for each bird, along with perching. Then we move on to free range. Free range, as the name implies, have all the standards of barn eggs, but they are allowed to go outside for a certain length of time each day. Scrabbling around in the dirt, picking up bugs and worms is essential to a chicken diet. And then top tier, we have organic. Organic has all the things that free range has. However, they have to have food that contains no hormones or antibiotics or other medicines. They are also limited on how many a farmer is allowed to keep in one flock. So you go all the way from 3, 2, 1, 0 being the highest welfare eggs. And in that, you have the price to match. Going on my local supermarket Tesco, you can see there's absolutely dozens of types of eggs you can choose from. And I've got a whole range here. Some caged eggs, some free-range eggs, a premium Burford brown egg, a rich and golden one, and an organic egg. I struggled to find barn eggs in my supermarkets. Being pitched between caged and free-range, it's difficult to say how much difference there would be. All the ones I tried were out of stock. Egg welfare is clearly important to viewers of this channel as well. I put up a poll on my community page. Make sure you subscribe to see these, by the way. Free range was voted the most important thing when they're out choosing eggs. In my research, I thought it would also be interesting to look at the nutritional value of the eggs and what difference the grading of the egg made. Now, I went to all the different websites and pulled down all their nutritional stats, and I was quite surprised. They were all the same. There must be some difference, because obviously the different hens have different diets, and that is what you're eating essentially. But my guess is a standard has been created for what the nutritional value of an egg is, and everybody is playing it safe and using the same nutritional content for every egg. So that one will have to wait for another day. Have you heard this advice before? Raw eggs should not be given to any vulnerable groups. This includes the elderly, young children, and those recovering from illness. The Food Standards Agency in the UK in 2017 decided this advice no longer needed to apply. As long as your eggs have the Red Lion stamp on them, that means they've been brought up to a certain standard, which means they are safe for consumption in vulnerable groups. That said, you do your own research and decide what's best for you and your family. But it's good to know that the Food Standards Agency have that confidence in the way eggs are reared. And here's a price comparison, and there's a wide range of choice. It's no surprise that cage eggs come in the cheapest, at 16 pence per egg, moving up to free range at 31 pence, mixed size organic at 42, the premium Burford Brown at 52 pence, but then the St. U opulent egg comes in at a whopping 58 pence per egg. So the difference between caged and free range is about double. What's guaranteed, even before opening any of these eggs, is that the better welfare eggs tend to have more goldenly orange yellow yolk, whereas a poorer quality egg tends to have a more insipid, paler colour. You can see here as we go through and crack the eggs from our caged egg through to our free range, our Burford Brown, our golden yolk specialty egg, and our organic egg. You can see the slight differences. I've piggybacked a great deal of what Ethan has done. He's a good egg. And I thought the best way to test them would be using a frying pan. As you can see here, we're just frying them in oil with salt and pepper in a pan, all fried at the same time. I sat a few friends around, we blindfolded ourselves and then ate the eggs, which is actually quite difficult, by the way. This test was conducted blind. The main reason is because the colour of the yolk is so different and so obvious. As you've seen from the cracking bit, the generally more poor quality eggs have a lighter yolk and the better quality eggs have a richer, more orange colourful yolk. So we conducted our taste test, 4 of us, all trying it and then discussing what we ate and what we felt. And we detected very little difference. Our senses are heightened obviously because we're looking for differences in taste, texture, flavour, and we were really picking at it to try and taste the difference between these eggs. But to be honest, you have the caged egg and the organic egg at either end of this scale, and there was very little between them. We did pick up slight textural differences. The higher welfare eggs had more of a sort of smoother texture to them, but really we were really focusing in on that and just trying to find differences. To be honest, if you put an organic egg down in front of me and told me it was a caged egg, I'd just eat it and go, yeah, tastes like an egg. So what it comes down to is there's not a lot of difference in the taste and the flavour of the egg you're eating, whether you're saving them for scrambled eggs or popping them in a cake. However you're eating them, there's very little difference. Therefore, when it comes to choosing the right egg for you, we're talking about budget and ethics. What welfare are you looking for these chickens, and where can your budget stretch? Personally speaking, there's a phrase that Jamie Oliver uses, buy the best that you can afford, and I think it really applies for eggs. Yes, the price of eggs has gone up recently, particularly within the UK, the outbreak of avian flu in 22-23 that skyrocketed the price of eggs and made them quite difficult to get hold of for a few weeks. Now the market has stabilised somewhat and you can see the relative price differences here. I'm personally very happy buying free range eggs, knowing that these chickens have gone outside, had a wild diet, had room to play, to perch, to mess about and whatever it is hens get up to. I've not seen the new Chicken Run movie to find out. It seems to me it's down to you, down to your pocket and where your conscience lies in terms of where that egg sits. I hope you found that interesting. I personally had a great time researching all the different things about eggs and chickens and all the stuff that goes on. Absolutely fascinating. I have to give a shout out to Ethan Chlebowski. He doesn't need my props. He's got millions of subscribers. Thanks for giving me the idea. If you've enjoyed this, I'd love it if you could hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, but just says to YouTube, this is the sort of thing you want to see. And if you press the like button, that tells YouTube, yep, this video is a good one. Show it to other people, please. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time.